trash! And we're back. How are y'all doing? How y'all doing? I was told yesterday to play this clip. I don't know anything about the clip. I don't know anything about all of you. I don't know what the hell this is going on. I might play a little bit of this game at the end of today's stream for funsies. But volume on. Oh no, I got it. No gaming on garbage day. Only clips in Sino. What the fuck is Sino? Can you guys hear that shit? Okay. Let's see what's up with Grand Blue Fantasy, huh?
Victory. Battle 1.
By the way, I played some of this the other night. It's like in between Strive and DBZ in terms of complexity. It's interesting.
Victory.
I was playing that character last night. Okay, how do I turn off the hold on. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, he gets an anti-air. Okay, one anti-air on a counter hit. That is so Grand Blue has like hold a button and tap one button for special. So that was just that was 2 button presses. That's standing Y into the break thing, into the break thing again, which bounces into standard Y combo into EX. That's not hard. That's not hard. Then I do it. Listen, I can't do it right now, but what I'm saying is that like a 9-hit combo is not like a fucking 45 fucking hit combo. You know? It's not just hit him with the XXX and the YYY. I was shocked when I saw Grand Blue the basic combo chart in game was like actually YYY EX Fireball, YYY launcher. The game's combo routes are blunt. No, I don't have subtitles. I wonder why this was sent in.
どうした綺麗どうしたまさかそこまでやっておいてこのギリギリの場面で最後の嗅覚直感で その一品の危険性
What?
まがまがしさを感じて降りるというのかそうだ来い切って楽になれわしのこのドラ12に打ち込め
What?
そのまま来い飛び込んで来い自然の一品に来い撃て
What?
駆け巡る鷲津の脳内物質ベータエンドルフィンチロシンエンケファリンバリンリジンロイシンイソロイシン
Is this what y'all are doing when y'all playing mahjong?
いけなかった
なかったか鷲津岩尾聞こえなかったか鷲津岩尾
ロンチュンドライチ頭羽です
What? Oh my god, bro. Bro.
I
What?
sat here and posed for like 10 minutes. Let me see the product.
I've seen this.
Is that me? No, it's nice. It's so nice. Oh. I've never looked better. Ooh, where were you? Where were you when it was time for senior photos?
I don't think it looks good.
It is fantastic. Oh my God, what's that? Is that hyperpigmentation? Just tell me, okay. You know what? I've never seen nothing like this before. I just want you to just keep it up, okay?
Why was Daddy laughing?
Daddy don't know what he's doing anyway. That's how you say that's a great drawing in French.
Oh man. So me and Paige have talked about this. So kids will come up to you and they'll be like, Dad, check it out. And they're like expectant and like proud, and you're like, oh wow, good one, buddy. That was cool. Right? And they're like, look, I could do a backflip. And then they fucking do a backflip and they fucking eat shit super hard and hurt their head. And you're like, oh, that was pretty good though. You almost. Oh, it's so brutal. It's so brutal. Okay, so hey, I talked about Battlefield yesterday, and I talked about Call of Duty yesterday, and all I could think about is this Racevic video about racing games. It's the exact same fucking topic. It's just racing games. So I'm gonna watch it again.
A new strategy is available on the MFT.
Believe it or not, this is one of the world's most acclaimed and best-selling racing games. A sequel to this, which was a sequel to this.
Whoa, not okay there.
So, Does its successor, Formula 1 22, resolve these problems? What do you think?
I ain't got time for this.
Fucking plows through it. Literally lands on my fucking car. Like,
oh my god.
I've played this game for dozens of hours and conclude that it's beautiful to look at, richly complex, and exhilarating to play, while finding half the time it's broken. From its AI to online connections and AI over online connections. After 13 games of refinement and online play being one of this franchise's biggest selling points in and outside of the game, it manages to break in almost every session I'm in. However, this is my fault, because Formula 1 is actually one of the worst driving games on the market, made exclusively for children. According to YouTube comments, as it says, real men don't play games, they play the far more sophisticated and superior simulators. So if these simulators are so much better, what happens when we take?
So I'm sure that he will go into it at some point, but it's like racing simulator fans are the fucking stat sheet fantasy football freaks of racing games, and it's like, you remember fucking Need for Speed 3 and the big innovation was you could run from the cops? Yeah!
Word for it. One of the more recent is Automobilista 2, having gotten years worth of content updates from its humble Brazilian developer Reza, adding dozens of cars, tracks, liveries, and vital improvements to the game itself.
I don't care about the
with
tuning.
Gameplay that's infinitely
Want to
more
do a big
complex
jump.
than F1 can ever hope to be in its driving model, weather conditions, strategies, and handling. I really enjoy it. But does it resolve F1's problems?
Rolling Stone.
We have control? No, we don't. Oh my god, I'm inside Casey. I overtook Casey.
oh, here we go.
We're gone.
I'm still in the menu.
Why is Jake overtaking us?
Why is Jake overtaking? Why is Orby overtaking us?
Is this how Jake is gonna win?
Why is Bartels P1? Bartels is leading the race.
We are in first place. What the fuck?
I still have any control over the car. 15 seconds. 35 seconds of penalties. 35 seconds.
Right? It still says that.
And it's going another lap?
What the fuck?
There it is!
Oh, it's green.
Yeah, what the shit?
And that's not all. AI opponents phase through other racers.
Great.
Pit crews appear in the middle of the road. Pit lane assists get you stuck. Players get penalties before the race starts. Disqualified players will flash in and out of a track for the entirety of a race. They'll also leave a permanent shadow on track. Races can start after the first corner. Certain vehicles will twerk on track. All vehicles mega twerk in the pits. Default cameras phase through vehicles. Restarting after a crash won't add your missing components. Whatever this is. Oh, and most of these existed in the last game to use this engine 6 years ago. One could argue this game's more fun to drive than F1, but in terms of cohesion and polish, there's no question as to which is more broken. And it's not just bugs, but design which can be confused for bugs. Default setups for Indy fail to reach their top speed, and voluntarily disconnected players are forbidden from ever rejoining a race in progress. Even these camera angles in the replay mode aren't available on the heads-up display, but hidden via keyboard shortcuts also carried over from that 6-year-old game. However, this is once again my fault. The comment never mentioned Automobilista 2, but R-Factor 2, considered by many to be the simulation king, especially in regards to physics. And it's the official video game of the virtual 24 Hours of Le Mans, possibly the biggest event in all of sim racing, with Formula 1 drivers and champions at the helm. Does it resolve F1's problems? Actually, that was 5 months ago. And recently, there was a patch fixing the AI that's been a problem since the Sebring update in 2018. Never mind that. It's been fixed now. Just watch Turn 1 at Skip Barber. Sebring. Nürburgring. Well, actually, you're not supposed to play R-Factor 2 offline. Apparently. This game was really built for online competitions.
Yeah!
9 years after launch, filled with premium content and scheduled league racing where you can at any time sign up for a total of 5 events, half of which require multiple pieces of paid content. Cars sell for $7 each. Circuits are sometimes double that. All for this pulse-pounding action.
Oh, man.
This was the free playlist. 6 p.m. on a Sunday. Assetto Corsa, then. It doesn't have the population trouble of R-Factor 2. In fact, it's retained one of the most dedicated communities in all of gaming.
Is that Cats on Mars?
Over 20,000 mods and counting.
It is!
Again, I adore this game, and I've got family members who adore it even more than me. It
Oh,
can't
chicken
possibly
bone. My
then
mistake.
have F1's problems.
Oh, good.
At this point, you're probably wondering, why not just play arcade racing games instead? And I do. Whether it's jet skis, anti-gravity, cell shading, photogrammetry, motorcycles, hover cycles, dirt, tarmac, wheel, pad, clean, rough, online, offline, I'm there. The point about sim racing specifically is, with the exception of 2 games, both of which have a big asterisk, this pathetic subgenre of sweaty nerds justifying their personal sinkhole that only accepts money, this is mine, is packed to the brim with objectively broken features and content that makes Cyberpunk's launch seem ethical. That is to say, a better problem than arcade racers have.
They don't exist.
Basically, there aren't any. Burnout was abandoned by Electronic Arts. Sega shelved everything but the occasional kart racer.
I played almost every
Microsoft gave up
arcade
Project
racer that
Gotham
ever came
Racing,
out.
And Sony shut down its closest analog and Drive Club that itself overwrote MotorStorm. Capcom left eons ago and are never coming back.
Split
Neither is
Second was
Rockstar's Midnight
so
Club due
good!
to other occupations. Ubisoft bought the Driver IP and shelved it after 1 game for The Crew, which hasn't had a new game in 5 years. Ridge Racer hasn't had one in 8.
Oh, dude! Oh, this shit's out of date! The Crew 2 is also getting shut down!
A console one in 11, a main one in 17. Blur and Split Second had their sequels canceled, and as great as Forza Horizon 5 is,
Oh, just the
aspects
first
of it
game?
are
My mistake.
still inferior to the original, continuously mudding up progression via horns, shoes, and automated
Yeah, hey,
text
I
messages.
played Forza Horizon 4, and I actually got really confused about what I was supposed to do other than race cars. Its interface was really astonishingly bad.
Less progress was made with Grid Legends, doubling down on a story mode that manages to backtrack from the original series it so desperately throws
You guys
fan
remember Ridge
service to.
Racer?
It's very sad, but
Ridge
just about
Racer.
the only well-funded arcade racer you can buy today is Need for Speed. The franchise from 1994 that took over the world
Need for Speed
is
hasn't been
pretty
good
well
since
the
Hot
only
Pursuit 2.
one left in the game. And even Unbound comes with a catch. While I love the effects, music, personality, customization, and the genuine attachment you build in making a specialized car, Content-wise, Unbound makes Halo Infinite look like Skyrim. To unlock certain vehicles in a class, they require 30 playlists. That's 90 races, with a specific manufacturer to be completed. So, how many playlists do 4 of the 5 classes have? 20? 15? 10? Nope. 6. Which might be fair if each of the races within a playlist were unique. But they're not, repeating circuits across all tiers in the game multiple times. It's a far, far cry from Project Gotham Racing's 200 layouts. So just like Halo Infinite, even though I want to keep playing this game I genuinely enjoy, warts and all, I just can't. There's not enough there. I'm not picky. I'm not looking for sim racing, simcade, or arcade. I'm just desperate. Desperate for one racing game without a catch. You know what Forza Motorsport 7's catch is? It can't even be bought. Gran Turismo 7 then. It seems to be all things to all men. It's gorgeous to look at, beautiful to control, mostly, and even more pleasant to just vibe in. Half of Gran Turismo's appeal really is just navigating well-crafted menus, listening to relaxing music while steadily progressing from used Dodge Neons to Pikes Peak monsters. Except that doesn't exist in Gran Turismo 7 because GT Life has been replaced by these infamous cafe books that's effectively just a battle pass, drip-feeding you minuscule rewards and wheel spins that manage to be even more insulting than what came before. What the fuck? Also, you can play Sport Mode online with 0 improvements made from its predecessor, ignoring all the exploits and obviously bad behavior, yet doesn't let you play with friends in the name of competition. Even iRacing allows friends to join your sessions. The game that black flags you for dumping the clutch on pit row permits its drivers to have more fun than Polyphony does. In fact, of all the games that exist in this entire genre, iRacing is one of the only with a quality variety of content that lets you play with friends and is stable enough to host events longer than 20 minutes. So what's the catch? No thank you.
Oh my god.
This here is an assortment of driving games released in the last decade. How many of them have a party system? Matchmaking. Custom lobbies. With bots. And custom presets. Online stability. A career mode that isn't bare bones. A story mode that isn't garbage. I think you get the picture. I love racing games. I always have. And I'm only binging them more now as an adult with groups of friends across all subgenres, and it's been fantastic fun. Dirt 3, Blur, and Driver San Francisco are some of the greatest multiplayer ever conceived. And once you've battled someone wheel to wheel for entire laps online, pushing each other on a wire right to the edge without ever falling off, a split-second firefight just seems kinda boring. Yet that's the reputation driving games have. And it's not because this genre isn't accessible to the greater gaming public. Far too many have disproven that.
Oh, man,
whenever asking friends and colleagues who don't play these games, they almost always get nostalgic for things like Need for Speed Underground, Gran Turismo 4, or Forza Horizon. I think it's because in terms of game design and identity, right now, this genre is decades behind everything
Oh, they just stopped.
And until these games are able to be varied, original, functional, and affordable
They just stopped changing
at the same
anything.
time, it's going to keep embarrassing itself. Some of you knew this was coming. Video games across the globe have been pushing esports.
Fucking esports.
I'm not really into it, but there's more than enough remarkable matches, players, casters, and productions over the
footage
years
on that?
one can't simply write it off. Unless it's racing, because despite all the funding, talent, and dedicated game design poured into it, We're still at a point where the biggest esports racing event in the world had dozens of its competitors be disconnected on top of the entire server dying twice, along with its IP address being publicly available on Steam. Could you imagine anything like this level of incompetence for League, Counter-Strike, or Siege?
No.
It wouldn't be allowed 10 years ago, let alone today. And while yes, this event was publicly ridiculed, I've got to ask, why did it take an all-new low to be reached until players finally stood up in unison to say that R-Factor 2 is broken? This event was nothing new. Max Verstappen, the star driver who called this clown show what it is, suffered connection errors in the same event 2 years ago. And the game's poor stability has been established in the community for years, yet it was persistently excused or ignored by fans and developers in favor of adding more overpriced content that was always celebrated. This is why. This is why the genre sucks. When a game's been demanding money, and lots of it, for 10 fucking years, and it still can't offer a reliable experience online or off, what's to defend? And when an entire genre has been lagging behind everything else in a multi-billion-dollar industry, everybody should be saying so. I said I'm desperate, which I am. But more than that, I'm tired. And there's 3 things in particular I'm really tired of. The AI in F122, treating players as if they kicked their granny in the cooter. It doesn't exist in Grid Legends. There is the Nemesis system, where drivers you've made ongi will take themselves out of the race trying to kill you. But everyone else backs off when they're approaching corners and only charges up the inside when there's a viable chance to overtake.
I did not play Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform.
And it's nonsense. Because this is Codemaster's arcade racer. Vehicles are built like a Toyota Hilux, handling's more forgiving than my mother, and the AI crashes themselves out every race in spectacular fashion. Why isn't the AI behavior in these 2 games swapped? Why not use F122's aggression in the game that supports it? Is being a nemesis against 1 or 2 drivers really so vital that the other 20
Which I prefer
need to be
between Mario Kart
pushovers on the
64,
highest
Diddy Kong, or
difficulty?
Crash Team? I don't really care for kart racers that much, to be honest.
From the outside,
I
it's
prefer,
hard
like,
to understand the priorities
Need for
this
Speed
company
3 and
has
4.
regarding its franchises.
I really
Now,
like Need for Speed 4.
how a game can weigh said priorities is varied, but it's almost always present in this genre. Returning to Automobilista 2, it had a gap between Part 2 and Part 3 of its USA expansion of 11
Need for Speed 4 was high
months.
stakes.
Suffering delay after delay as Ray's tiny team devoted themselves to converting their overtly unpolished game into an oval racer. And it sucks. The AI doesn't know how to handle these circuits or the pack racing they create.
How does the AI not know how to
GT1s feel
handle
more
a
like
circle?
Indy cars than the Indy cars? And after all of that, the total number of super speedways is 3. I don't get it. I don't get why adding one niche mode the game can't properly facilitate nor host enough content for, even if people did love it, was what demanded top priority for a year. And if the development team is so small, why promise not 2 or 3 Indy cars, but 17 of them? Why do that to yourself? And who is asking for it? The bloat is of galactic proportions. It's no coincidence that one of the only games in this genre that's stable online is dedicated to one style of racing. It's got plenty of other faults, but dumping heaps of time and money into bad content nobody plays isn't one of them. I mean, who played the music drive in GT7 outside of waiting for the game to install, drove the supercars in F122, or grinded in Project Cars 3? It's so much of this crap that's led to games which failed to improve upon their predecessors from 2 console generations ago, and broken fundamentals of the experience being left virtually unchanged. And by fundamentals, I don't mean simulation, because
Yeah!
simulator
Boo!
is just a name. And I feel like we had a better understanding of this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My dad didn't buy Gran Turismo reading that subtitle thinking, wow, it is real life. Racing sims no different than Spectacle Fighter, Dungeon Crawler, or Metroidvania. It was just meant to distinguish these games from Mario Kart and Ridge Racer. It wasn't taken so goddamn literally that you had gamers arguing with real racing drivers about their own cars. I don't care how much CPU data is being used to accurately model tires, your simulation is still a video game, and far too often a really bad one. This quote from IGN about Gran Turismo 5 has only gotten worse. If GT5 is a 5 out of 10 game with its clunky interface, recycled car list, and dated online play, what's Assetto Corsa? It might be a better simulator, but as a game, it's not even in the same galaxy. The UI is so bad, the community had to make their own launcher to avoid it. There's no music, artwork, sounds, or style of any capacity, something even early Sims often had, and a career mode that's so half-assed I keep forgetting it even exists. And R-Factor 2 is even worse. Then, after all the blood, sweat, and tears poured into making a game that's literally sacrificing everything in the name of realism, the games host a big competition that utterly discredits the product as anything other than just that. A game.
After a while, I started to realize, you know, we're not actually driving a sim anymore. We're turning it into an arcade through setting up the cars in a way that's not realistic, through changing my driving style in a way that just was like driving something on NASCAR 08. It got to the point where it just didn't feel like racing anymore. It felt like some sort of arcade video game.
It's the same thing in R-Factor. It's the same thing in Assetto Corsa. These are games. And as much fun as I have setting up races in Assetto Corsa that aren't possible anywhere else, or recreating my favorite car chases in BeamNG, it would be nice to play an actual game instead of a self-maintained playset. What does it say about this subgenre that one of the most notable features about Project Cars 2 is being able to host private lobbies? You know what game let you do that? Halo 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah! Halo! People like that.
You know why
Halo.
Need for Speed Unbound's graffiti effects were controversial? Because it's the first racing game in years that doesn't look identical to everything else on the market. You seriously mean to tell me during the 2000s among Automoto Lisa, Burnout, Crazy Taxi, Midtown Madness, Outrun, F-Zero, XG3, R-Racing, and Kirby Air Ride that this would have been crossing the line? No. It's because now that all of those names are dead, and racing games have been selling us the same cars with the same tracks with the same promises that mean absolutely nothing, 2D smoke trails are like vegetables to a heroin addict. It'd been so long since a racing game had a truly unapologetic style and identity that it was a shock to people's systems. The reason casual players don't pay attention to racing games, aside from their generally middling production value, is because they can't tell the difference between them. And who can blame them? Why would anybody except the hardcore pay attention to spring dampeners, tire pressures, or weight?
So I had a buddy of mine in high school that was a car nut, and he bought every Grand Turismo game on release, and then he would spend like an entire afternoon tuning the car so that he could beat his times on the fucking 24-hour Monaco track. And he spent so much more time tuning the car than he did driving the car. And I'd go over and we were supposed to hang out, and he'd be like, hold on a second. And he would just fucking tune the car, and was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Weight transfer. All they see is a McLaren going around a racetrack they already drove 20 years ago with no coherence in racing disciplines, car culture, or even tone. The death of all the arcade
now he's
racers
an engineer. Now I saw him at a grocery
came
store
along with it the death of distinct games in this entire genre. There's no
did
longer
not
any
recognize me, but I
dedication to
recognize
mapping
him.
out the real streets of exotic cities like Project Gotham, recreating film classics in Driver, or to legitimize racing events in Pro Street and commitment to spectacle in Split Second. The only quality game in recent memory carrying that torch is Wreckfest. Not because of its destruction, but presenting a unique form of racing no one else is matching with nearly all the features, vehicles, tracks, and events somebody would want from it. I mean, doesn't this look fun? It doesn't need the Nürburgring again. The latest supercar, wet weather puddles, reflections off the engine bay, or any of the other crap that's been sold to the same group of people for a decade now. It's just a fun video game. Made by people who had their priorities straight, weren't hung up on creating an impossible simulation, and were dedicated to properly evolving what creatively set them on the map. And to everyone that says, you can't do anything new with a racing game, I've got something to share with you.
Well, that looks like Wipeout. Oh!
These are a collection of original pieces by principal art director at Behavior Interactive, Gregory Framonto. And I'm seeing in these images a racing game I've never played before. Not Need for Speed meets Burnout, not Forza meets Test Drive Unlimited, but Dirt meets Half-Life. Flicking a Quattro through City 17's streets, sliding out 37s underneath Authority ships, stopping outside megastructures, refueling in the desert, partying outside the city, or going head-to-head on an aircraft carrier. I'm imagining stages that take place within derelict spaceships, airdropping onto futuristic cities, Pathfinder as your navigator, and teleporting between multiple environments in a single stage. You could do anything. Imagine letting a stage designer
Imagine
go nuts
doing
with this.
anything.
What would happen in a game where the cars are of our world, but the levels aren't? And this is all just one concept. Did you know it's been 20 years since the last F-Zero game?
Yeah.
And that Shigeru
Well, no,
Miyamoto
not
claimed to
technically
not
anymore.
have a single idea for a new game in those 20 years. Off the top of my head, F-Zero's my team with R&D trees, contract negotiations, and rivalry systems. To my understanding, Capcom doesn't own a patent to sell shaded cars. Anybody could try Jet Set Radio meets Gran Turismo once more. It is criminal. The only driving game to utilize Driver San Francisco's shift mechanic is Driver San Francisco. Make a game that finally iterates NASCAR's respect meter, or roleplay as your driver to the point of sustaining injuries during crashes or maybe being put out for good. Starting a new run in a new age a la Reigns. Put a Need for Speed game in Night City with its set of cars, or a Twisted Metal game in Mad Max with its set of cars. And those are just high-level concepts. That's before innovating within the games themselves, like player-controlled practice zones a la the Riff Repeater in Rocksmith. Letting people party up into teams of 2 online and season events.
Like, it's a bit
or take
long-winded,
F1's career mode
but the
online with a
idea
league
of, like,
competitors
please just
individually
do
developing their
anything.
cars and transferring teams. There's so much originality right for the taking in this genre that'd be accessible to everybody, not just the hardcore fans enduring this current drought. And thankfully,
I would
some
love
of it
to play
is
like a
available
cool
in the
racing
indie scene,
game.
with Art of Rally's superb original soundtrack and clean aesthetic, Inertial
Let's
Drift's
bring one out, please.
completely new take on a manner a driving game is played, and Spin Tires, which has evolved into the Mud Runner series. Creating such an original yet
I know Casey
intuitive
really likes
off-road
that
driving
game.
model, even MMOs are ripping it off. The indies don't excuse, however, the overall genre's current state. Its lack of innovation, priorities, self-awareness, or most importantly, progress. I am not disrespecting the amazing work that's been done in this space.
Yeah, Ace Combat
Only that things like laser scan
destroyed
circuits,
its competition
direct
every time
communication
it
with
came
race
out.
teams, and budgets that
Somebody
are
in the
among
chat says, hold on, let me see if I can scroll up. As an Erie, as an Ace Combat fan, boy, am I glad the flight sims never got really shit on like the racers. Yeah, no, they do flight sims, and then Ace Combat will come out, and Ace Combat was like, you want to do 5 backflips and shoot 40 missiles? And everyone went, yeah!
the highest in recorded history are being wasted. The best Forza is over 10 years old. The best Need for Speed is nearly 20. The best rally game is 1 year from 20, the 2 best NASCAR games are 20, and the best F1 game is more than 20. And the best IndyCar game is a lot older than that. The GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione are more enjoyable to drive when they're ported into the original Assetto Corsa.
Ooh.
Forza Motorsport 4 sounds better than 7. Drive Club's effects on PS4 are superior to Gran Turismo's on PS5. And bugs we're experiencing in F1 22 have appeared in 2014. This doesn't feel like a decade of progress. I said last year that F1 2020 has granted some of the most fun I've had gaming in years, and I stand by that. Codemasters have made an excellent core game, repeatedly, but its problems brewing underneath the surface have been getting worse and worse and worse. Even friends and I in our weekly league would be willing to move on to an alternative in a heartbeat. But that's the problem. There isn't one. Not one everybody can afford, at least. I understand why sports games have these issues. In most cases, the annual release of hockey, football, and football are the only releases of each sport. But racing games don't have that excuse. There's exclusivity deals, sure, but it doesn't stop people from making games that include particular forms of motorsports, whether that's F1,
you just make a bunch
rallying,
of
or
fake cars.
dinosaurs. And yet we seem to have been trapped since the 8th generation console launch. We're on the horizon of a new generation of games coming up from Microsoft, Ubisoft, EA, alongside all new big players and independents. And despite this video's tone, I am very sympathetic to their challenges, because driving games might just be the hardest genre in this industry. It costs iRacing $150,000 to make one circuit, $500,000 in the case of the Nürburgring. Need for Speed uses 12 microphones to record a single vehicle.
Well, just don't do that.
Technology
Make
like the
fake
Madness
cars. No one
engine
gives a shit.
calculates so many variables for the circuits, vehicles, and
Do
weather
split second.
that developers are still reining it
And
in
have the
over
car be
10
the red
years
car
since it debuted.
and the blue car.
From keeping a circuit driven thousands of times varied, to syncing dozens of players all over the world with pixel precision, and creating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
Sir
of
Pumpkin,
unique
do you mean the
vehicles that
actual
all
towers, or
look,
do you mean
sound, and
the
feel
underneath?
great.
Because if it's the underneath,
These
Gale and
games
Will.
challenge virtually every facet of technology, feedback, and design.
It's the regular Moonrise Tower.
But
It
if
doesn't
these
matter.
games are going to charge top dollar, and they very much are, then it isn't wrong to expect them to evolve. More than anything, I just want these games to be judged within the industry they're a part of. For too long, people in and outside of the community have been dividing them up into different subgenres, isolating them from each other, let alone shooters, roguelikes, MOBAs, RPGs, etc.
Shooters and
all it's
fucking sports
accomplished
games and
is
racing games are
complacency
so just...
from publishers, developers, and even players. And if that never changes, this genre never will.
I used to play that shit all the time. Yay, good video. Yay. Good You mean the Normie Trio? Yeah, dude. Yeah. There's no reason that normies can't have a good video game. There's no reason. Hey, I gotta pee again. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. To our WB employees under Rooster. Oh, we're so fucking far out of the corporate umbrella. Doesn't count. What, the CEO is gonna fucking reach down into for our podcast? Like, come on. Professional Witch Burner kicked in 500 bits. Realism's cool until it takes away enjoyment. Infinity Ward loves realism so much that it causes MW3 to advertise it as remember the unfun realism in Modern Warfare 2? Not here. Are you sure? Are you serious? Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty game. No, Black Ops 1 is. Black Ops, but that's like those are right next to each other. Which Modern Warfare 2? Are those games remakes or not? I don't understand. It's so confusing. Why is it the exact same title? Remember when you could shoot down UAVs? That was crazy. That was crazy. That's what I did in Modern Warfare 2, by the way. Every loadout I ran, I had a stinger, and every time I heard enemy UAV online, I said, "No, it's not." And I made it my mission that the other team would never, ever, 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 ever get to have the UAV active. And even if I wasn't the best at the shooting, I knew I was doing something that was like helpful to the team. You know? And Soul Rack 25 sub. Thanks, man. All right, next up.
George, we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. Is there anything that you've always wanted to ask me? Because, George, I will.
Yes, there is something I want to ask you.
All right.
How the fuck do you write so many books so fast?
Cocaine!
I think, I've had a really good 6 months. I've written 3 chapters, and you've finished 3 books in that time.
Here's the thing, okay? There are books and there are books. The way that I work, I try to get out there and I try to get 6 pages a day. So with a book like End of Watch, and when I'm working, I work every day, 3-4 hours, and I try to get those 6 pages, and I try to get them fairly clean. So if the manuscript is, let's say, 360 pages long, that's basically 2 months' work. It's concentrated, but it's but that's assuming that it goes well.
And you do hit 6 pages a day?
I usually do.
You don't ever have a day where you sit down there and it's like constipation and you write a sentence and you hate the sentence and you check your email and you wonder if you had any talent after all, and maybe you should have been a plumber. Don't you have days like that?
No, I mean, there's real life. You know, I can be working away and something comes up, and you have to basically get up and you have to go to see the doctor, or you have to take somebody a care package, or you have to go to the post office, because whatever. But mostly I try to get the 6 pages in, although Entropy tries to intervene.
So of note here is that Stephen King, like, he has like series, but overall Stephen just likes, I'm gonna write a book about an evil dog, or what if you were doing a sex game with handcuffs and your husband died, and you know, just goes. Where George is like, wow, what would this character realistically do in this situation? Let me think back at their whole life and try and be like sometimes you just gotta write and then this thing happened. and then. You know,
I did an event at Radio City Music Hall for charity with John Irving.
I'm not
and
a
Joe
writer,
Rowling,
by the way.
and this was the time J.K. Rowling, and this
Oh,
was
there's a
at
different
the time
reaction.
that she was finishing
5
the
years ago.
7th Harry Potter books, and I know that I've been very fortunate as a writer, and you've been terrifically fortunate as a writer. You worked for a long time, wrote a lot of good books, won a lot of awards, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden this crazy thing happens where all these books are suddenly New York Times bestsellers, and God knows it's deserved, but it's a sort of sudden thing. And here's the other thing, okay? People yell at you and say, we want the next book, we want the next book. They're like babies, we want the next book right away. I mean, it's a great thing to want that, but the pressure that you feel or I feel compared to that final Harry Potter book, you know, everybody wanted that, and she came to New York and she was nearly finished with it, and she'd agreed to do this event. And Jo was trying to do 3 things at once. She was going to do a vacation with her kids. She was going to finish the last 5 or 6 chapters of the 7th Harry Potter book, and she was going to do this event. And she showed up to do the sound check at Radio City Music Hall, and she was dressed like any
all right, I'm done with this story. Can we all just sit here, take a deep breath, and picture the writing process for the character of Cho Chang? Can we just... It's my favorite, dude. It's my favorite. It's so funny. It's so funny. I remember, oh God, when did that book come out? I was like much younger. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, I was just out of high school, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Do you ever wonder what happened to those murder hornets? 2020 was like a terrible final season. At one point, there was a giant murder hornet storyline that everyone just forgot about.
I remember
These were highly
that.
venomous Asian giant hornets, which erase about 30 to 50 names in Japan a year. In 2013 alone, they turned 42 people in the past tense in one Chinese province. And apparently, they illegally entered the United States, with the first sightings happening in Blaine, Washington towards the end of 2019. Which is kind of a problem because one hornet nearly unsubscribed Cody Peterson from life. So imagine getting jumped by an entire nest. Not only that, but these murder hornets will slaughter entire beehives. So what happened?
Pat, are you 1 year older than me or 10? Your timeline is fucked up. I'm 37. I was born in 86.
Well, the Department of Agriculture made it clear that we couldn't give them a chance to establish in America. Basically, the government said it was on site. Hornet nests that were found were quickly put out of commission for the sake of our way of life. One nest had allegedly 200 queen hornets before they were all put in a pack. So yeah, we went to war against hornets, but the thing is, it might not be over. On June 4th, a dead dried hornet was found near Washington State. Now, scientists believe it was an old hornet from last year. But these hornets typically emerge from hibernation in July, and all the homicidal hood flies that we didn't kill off could be returning for a season 2. But 2 things. 1, this murder hornet is actually rarely ever lethal to people. And 2, wildlife experts believe it would be impossible for them to become a permanent resident invasive species in America.
Really?
Basically, Asian hornets are like TikTok trends of performative activism. A big deal in the moment, but they're overblown and they don't last that long. That being said, they typically reemerge from hibernation in July, so if they are planning to run it back, it's going to be tough for the cancer. This episode of Australia is a f***ing simulation. This cow was caught eating something suspicious. When the worker took a closer look, he realized the cow was slurping a whole ass snake like it was a strand of mom's spaghetti. This wasn't some F-tier garden snake. It was a sand python that got turned into a cow's chew toy. Now, to be fair, cows have always been off. Technically, they're herbivores, but cows have been known to chew on the carcasses of other dead animals. In Australia, that often means dead kangaroos. They'll sometimes even suck on the bones of other cows, but the snake, that was new. Farmers believe they do this because low levels of phosphorus in the soil means less phosphorus for the cows. Not enough phosphorus can cause weaker bones, and for cows it can lead to botulism, which is bad. Phosphorus deficiency can also lead to osteophagia, where an animal like a cow chews or eats the bone of another dead animal. And you thought they were innocent. Nah, they ain't safe either. This cow is low on vitamin P, but instead of taking a supplement, he said it and decided to take a python instead. That sentence makes no sense anywhere else in the world but Australia. Moral of this video, Australia has no food chain. It's a f***ing free-for-all.
We finally have to talk about it. Koalas are just dumb.
Yeah, koalas are one of the dumbest ever.
Their own biggest obstacle.
I just want to add to the koala slander real quick because there's one special thing about them that not nearly enough people know. And you know me, I don't really need a reason to put them on blast.
Is it the chlamydia?
Y'all know eucalyptus, right? Now I'm going to ignore the fact that their entire personality is eating something that nature made abundantly clear is not supposed to be eaten. It's poisonous, hard to chew, and has zero energy, but of course a koala gon' koala. But that's not the problem. The problem is they literally can't even digest the one thing they insist on eating. They need special gut bacteria to break down the toxins of the eucalyptus. And of course, in animal that isn't smart enough to understand rain isn't going to comprehend probiotics. So to get the bacteria and, you know, not starve to death, the baby koala will nuzzle up to the mother in the, you know, this position. The baby will tickle the mother until she releases a green paste called cecum fecal pap. For months, the baby will eat its mother's poop just so it can spend the rest of its life nursing itself by eating eucalyptus. Koalas have been around for about 25 million years, yet the best thing they can do is eat and look cute. To be fair, lots of animals do this, but koalas eat just for something that isn't even worth eating in the first place.
Oh, fuck that. Oh,
snakes
fuck
like the
that!
python can actually swallow things bigger than their head. A lot of people think snakes unhinge or dislocate their jaws to do this, but that's not what they do. It's actually weirder. That's because for snakes, the bones in the lower jaw called the mandibles aren't connected the same way they are with us. Instead, they're held together by a stretchy ligament. These two jaw bones work independently and can actually spread apart from each other, which you can see here. I really hope Down Bad Mike don't see this. That demonic yawn is how snakes like pythons can deep throat things they honestly have no business even attempting. For reference, if you were built like a python, you'd be able to swallow a whole watermelon without chewing and without using your hands. All thanks to those two bones. Because those two jaw bones work on their own, they can slowly inch whatever they're trying to eat towards the back of their throat, basically like walking their jaw over their victim. A snake's mouthpiece is so flexible that the bigger ones like anacondas, boas, and pythons can swallow deer, goats, alligators, and even small cows. If it makes you feel any better, this is an emerald tree boa, and since they're non-venomous, they're basically harmless. Might cost you a few extra sessions of therapy, but I promise you there's worse snakes in your life. You probably dated them. Yeah, whoever designed this shrimp was on LSD.
Oh,
the
bullet
mantis shrimp
shrimp
just makes no sense as a living animal. Let's talk about it. This shrimp can throw a punch at 50 miles per hour. Not only can they throw hands faster than literally anything else on Earth, the acceleration of the punch is basically the same as getting hit with a 22. Yeah, God gave them the right to bear arms and they act accordingly. Their punch is so quick that it causes a cavitation bubble to form, and when it pops, it's hotter than the surface of the f***ing sun. Built like an underwater pride symbol with the left-handed Thanos, the mantis shrimp hunts by repeatedly striking the shells of clams, snails, and crustaceans until the shell splits open. It's that and the heat of getting pimp slapped by Lucifer that makes it easy for the mantis shrimp to turn its prey into a prayer. And if it wasn't for the fact that they can shatter aquarium glass, they'd actually be dope pets. Not even the only crazy thing about them. Their eyesight is so advanced that they can see polarized and ultraviolet light that's invisible to us. And where we have 3 color receptors, God said, why not, and decided to give this shrimp 16. They don't see more colors than we do the way some people think, but each row of photoreceptors is designed to detect a different kind of light. Oh, and they have 360 vision, because nature really pimped out the shrimp for no reason. 10 things you didn't know about the world's grumpiest cat. It's a Pallas cat, and it's basically the snow leopard's little brother found in the same Central Asian mountain ranges like the Himalayas. They're one of the highest cats on the planet. One Pallas cat was found 18,300 feet in the mountains. That's as high as more than 14 Empire State Buildings. It's around that height where your body would start to fall on you because of lack of oxygen. Pallas cats can survive being that high because just like snow leopards, or ice tigers if you know you know, they have huge lungs, a powerful heart, and massive nasal cavities to pull in more air. They are massive introverts, and the only way they ever tolerate each other is when they want to make more of themselves. They're so good at surviving where they honestly have no business that when you take them out of the mountains, they actually start to struggle, which is why they're a bad idea for a pet. Also, they're closer to cougars, ocelots, and servals than they are to domestic cats, but if you try to play him like a pet, he will remind you. Also, you'll probably never see one in a zoo. Nature made them so good at living in the mountains that they literally can't survive anywhere else, and when you take them out, they usually get canceled by diseases that they wouldn't have to worry about up in God's attic. No fact here, I just think this is cute. They are Pikachu's biggest op. Their favorite food is the Pika that the shock mouse is named after. Google doesn't respect them, because if you look up ugly-eared cat, they pop up. 5 sponge facts that might change the way you look at Robert. Most sea sponges are hermaphrodites, making them both male and female at the same time. And since they don't move, they get it on by either budding or by blasting baby maker onto the ocean, hoping it finds eggs to fertilize. Since they're an easy target for turtles and some fish, most sponges are toxic and use chemical weapons to defend themselves. The Caribbean fire sponge is actually poisonous enough to cause a severe rash to anybody who tries to hold it. Since some of the most toxic chemicals in science can be found in sponges, doing this could put you straight in the ER. These sponges can be used to fight cancer. Russian researchers isolated a compound from a sponge whose name gives me anxiety and synthesized it, and the result was a substance that killed prostate cancer cells. Starfish eat by ejecting their stomachs out their mouths, wrapping it around their prey, digesting it from the outside before retracting it, and now soupy remains back inside. Why am I telling you this? The starfish eat everything, including, sponges were the first animals, and it's possible they're the sister group to every living animal on Earth. By that I mean a very, very, very long time ago, there was a common ancestor for every animal alive, and sponges were the first to diverge from that ancestor. If that's true, that means for everything. I'm talking about you, your dog, Harambe, that squirrel in your attic you haven't met yet. The sponge is a sister group for all of them. So basically that shirt, that tie, and that thigh gap was the blueprint for life as we know it. The more you know. Vescaplucinopsis reticulata.
What is that?
The other day somebody called me a walking Pokédex, and They're not wrong. That's a European badger. There's about 5 types of badgers, and this little crackhead isn't one of them because honey badgers aren't true badgers. That family right there has a European badger, the Asian badger, and a Japanese badger. But American badgers are all the way down there. And that's because American badgers aren't even closely related to other badgers. Because when America was fighting for independence, apparently the badger was right there in them trenches. Nah, but for real, even though they're both badgers, they're not even closely related. These guys just look like they have their life together. He works a 9 to 5, picks up his kids from soccer practice, and invites his neighbor over for scones and tea every Tuesday. This dude is a corner store methie that swings broken beer bottles at anyone that makes eye contact. But they're pretty similar. American badgers will work with coyotes to hunt, and the Europeans will squat up with foxes. They're both carnivores, but they'll eat anything that fits in their mouth. And both give 0 f***s. Because where Americans will square up with bobcats, cougars, and sometimes grizzlies, Europeans will step to wolves, lynxes, and sometimes brown bears. They also stab pad with one badger murking an entire chicken coop. Sometimes European badgers will break into beehives and eat honeycombs while actively being stung by hundreds of bees. And I was not kidding about American badgers stepping to grizzly bears. They usually get clapped, but an effort was made and I respect that. Moral of this video, badgers are wolverines with short person syndrome and I f***ing love them for it. 3 animals that are way stronger than society taught you. First we have swans.
Alright, that's enough. I hate swans. I hate swans. What is this? Are those clowns?
Hi, welcome to Big Top Burger, where our motto is hot tires, hot burgers.
Oh, interesting motto. May I have a simple burger, please?
Oh, coming right up. Hey, Tim, can I get a simple burger?
You may not.
One second, sir. Hey, Tim, what's up?
The whole stove's gone.
Oh.
Someone just ripped it out of the wall.
I mean, it was probably Steve.
Why do you say that, Billy?
There's like a trail of grease leading to his office.
There's an office and a...
Just one more second, sir.
Steve, you didn't happen to see the stove, did you? Ah, there it is.
Steve, what are you doing?
Preparing some treats for my daughter's bake sale, of course.
Oh, wow, sir. I didn't know you had a daughter.
I don't think he does. Steve, man, the stove's not even plugged into anything.
Is that a customer I see? Hello, little boy.
Me?
What would you like on this fine morning?
I feel like my chain's being yanked around a bit here, but I shall repeat.
Australia.
Just a simple burger, please, sir.
What a wonderful little boy. A tuppence for you.
Now hold on 1 second.
Merry Christmas to you, my boy.
Huh. All right. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Aren't we in June?
Yeah,
it's 100% June.
Come on.
Was that it? Oh, okay, that was it. Okay.
How do you feel about the very ending when Picard's command is, let's make sure that no one gets caught by this booby trap ever again. And Riker goes, Mr. Worf, 45 photon torpedoes, fire! And then they just blow up this ancient ship.
You're at the point where you have to wrap up the episode, even though that should have broken Picard's heart.
Yeah.
And Picard's a big nerd.
Said, why don't we put out a little warning beacon? Because they've done warning beacons before.
Let's get a team of highly specialized Starfleet engineers.
Wait, that's the one. That's the fucking the booby trap that fucking puts the memories in Picard's head, right? Is that what they're talking about?
Think about this, and then a fleet can come in later and try and disable it from a distance, and maybe we can rescue this very valuable piece of ancient history that I love so much.
Oh, it's the energy ship that siphons the shit. Oh no!
Command. It's like Riker.
Yeah, they shouldn't have blown that up.
Intuition in him. I get that, but
Mike, the episode's got to be 46 minutes.
we got 12 seconds left.
We're at 45:52. We got to end.
I just wanted Picard to go, no, I meant a warning buoy. And then Riker's in the brig. That's how it ends. No, that's a nitpick. It's just a fun little gag.
Picard gets kicked out of his archaeology club.
Yeah. You destroyed a Promethean battle cruiser? So it's like blowing up the fucking Egyptian pyramids.
Like Napoleon did.
Somebody got bit by a snake. Let's make sure no one gets bit by this snake again. Fire a nuclear missile.
Destroy the priceless artifact. Blow it to smithereens.
Would a nuke even hurt the pyramids? I feel like they have too much mass. Yeah. They have a lot of mass.
Mo 5. Bert 5. Ernie.
No!
Ernie's nose fell off. Ernie's nose fell off. Come back, Ernie. Well, usually.
That's, oh, I hate that. I don't like that. Oh, and it was goopy? Oh, no! Oh, that's horrible. I hate that. Dude, I love cheese. And I like Caleb City.
Am I going to be waiting here all day, Crimson? Apologies, Your Majesty, but I assure you, the wait is worth it. Azul is more than known for the quality of milk he provides. Patience. He's got 10 minutes. Ah, and there he is. Guards, let him in.
Dude, I love cheese. I would eat cheese right
Crimson,
now.
how you doing? I'm good. Thank you. Your Majesty, I'd like to introduce you to Azul, renowned for the production of the best milk in all lands. It's an honor. It's been 2 hours. If this milk doesn't bang, you die. You know that, right? You die.
Of course. Nothing to worry about on my side.
Why didn't you tell me you was crazy?
To check my letters before I send them out. I told you in code.
Man, I wasn't reading through the lines. I was trying to get paid. Blame yourself.
Well, where is this renowned milk? Present it already. I've been waiting. Of course, Your Majesty.
Give him the milk.
All right. Prepare your taste buds for a surprise. For you've never had such an experience. That's what I bring to you today.
Eating shredded cheese by itself seems a little strange.
What are you doing? It's gone.
What?
The milk, it's gone. Something wrong happened. Look.
What is that? I don't know.
It was hot outside. I was riding all day. It must have changed.
Hey! On with it. You've got 30 seconds. I'm done waiting.
Of course. Right away. I'm walking over to give it to you right now. I was just doing that.
All right, enough waiting. Enjoy. What is this?
Oh, jeez.
It's G's? What?
Yes. We told you that we were bringing you milk today to keep it a secret. But this is a surprise. A new edible invention of mine. It's cheese.
I thought you called it G's.
Nope, cheese. Always been cheese. It was cheese from the beginning. Try it.
What? I'm sorry! No! Yes! I meant this! Let's go! Whoa! Let's go! Yes, I did that! Go! On purpose! Yes! Let's go! We should start putting this on everything! Yes, everything! Put it on everything! Yeah! Everywhere! On everything! Yeah! I'm alive! Yeah! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah! You make it! Yeah! Bro!
So I gotta ask, I'm not a cheese expert, but like cheese is an accident, right? Like the process of making cheese is way too fucking complicated to have possibly been fucking
Sponsored by ExpressVPN again.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't use his link for ExpressVPN. You should use the podcasts.
Nearly 500 years ago.
Can animals commit crimes? Yes. The real question is whether or not animals can be charged for crimes.
The town of Autun, France, a young lawyer named Bartholomew Chassenet took on a case defending a group of young troublemakers against erroneous criminal charges brought forward by the Catholic Church. Facing off against the church was a really big deal, especially for a young, ambitious lawyer. And after a series of clever legal tricks, he prevailed. Oh yeah, also, his clients were a bunch of rats. Let me explain. Autun's barley crop had been decimated by a rat infestation. Affected farmers asked the church to intervene, and the church, in turn, charged the rats with destruction of property.
Why would that be the next step?
Chassenet was looking to make a name for himself and decided that defending the rats would be a high-profile way to kickstart his career.
That's the no, you're not. Why not just attack the rats?
Day of proceedings, when Chassenet showed up to the courthouse, the rats were nowhere to be seen. This was to be expected, of course, but the judge's first move was to take this as an indication of their guilt. Thinking quickly, Chassenet informed the judge that the notice to appear in court had been posted exclusively inside the town of Autun. The supposed crime had taken place outside of town, so it was reasonable to assume that that's where the defendants lived as well. Chassenet argued that the court had an obligation to provide adequate notice to his clients, even though they were, rats. The judge reluctantly agreed and issued an order instructing every rat in the diocese to appear in court. This time, notices would be posted everywhere. Several days later, Chassenet showed up to court for a second time, and again, his clients were nowhere to be seen. The judge was prepared to call it quits right there, but Chassenet came back with another argument. He said that whenever farmers appeared in court, they were usually given several weeks to get their affairs in order. His clients were farmers of a different sort, so why weren't they being shown the same respect? Chassenet was being annoying, but he kinda had a point.
Oh, man.
The judge delayed proceedings for several weeks so that the rats could get their affairs in order. Whatever that means. Weeks later, they met for a third time. Surprise, no rats. Chassenet burst in there full of beans. He informed the judge that of course his clients had every intention of coming in today. However, he had only now discovered, to his dismay, that the streets of Autun were absolutely crawling with cats. His clients, Chassenet said, were afraid for their lives. The judge was allowing assassins to hang around outside the courthouse. This was unacceptable. He told the judge that it would be impossible for his clients to appear in court until every cat in Autun had been moved indoors. An extremely annoyed judge issued a notice for people to pretty please with sugar on top, move your cats indoors. Proceedings were adjourned until a future date, TBD. No.
Hey, hold up. This is actually vitally important. Calder Gaming says, okay, but check that Historia Civilis didn't lift this script from somebody else's article without attribution. We're not going to be doing that. Other people's bad behavior is not an excuse to label everyone as a potential bad actor with absolutely no reason. Just stop that.
No date was ever set. People moved on with their lives, and the matter was set aside. Chassenet had successfully badgered the church into dropping the case. So that's a weird story. We could just leave it there and move on with our lives, but it does raise an interesting question. Can animals commit crimes?
They obviously
Why did
can commit them.
The people of Autun try to bring the full weight of the law against something that was so clearly just an act of nature? Believe it or not, to answer this question, we have to go all the way back to the ancient Greeks. Murder trials in ancient Greece were held out in the open air. every flavor of murder trials. By that I mean human murder trials,
Right.
inanimate object murder trials,
What?
and yes, animal
I'm
murder
sorry,
trials.
what's that second one?
The principle at work here is that the Greeks believed that murder disrupted the moral equilibrium of a city.
I
and
feel
that
like
it
we're-
created a sort
we're
of
flying
unseen
past that
pollution
second
that
one.
seeps into every aspect of society.
Wait,
That's
wait, somebody who knows, is that like a statue falling over and killing somebody, or is that you murdering someone's statue? Is it destruction of the former?
They held their murder trials out in the open air. You don't want innocent people breathing in those murder fumes. But why for inanimate objects and for animals? The pollution imagery is key to explaining this. The Greeks made no distinction between an accidental and a purposeful killing. It made very little difference to them whether death came from a person with a knife, a falling roof tile,
That's
or a kick
stupid
from
as
an animal.
hell.
In each of these scenarios, it would have been classified as a murder, and each murder would
Oh
have
my god,
emitted
that changes
unseen
so
pollution
much
in-
historical context about Greek myth. Oh, that changes so much as to what the word murder means in old-fashioned Greeky stuff.
into the community. If enough of this unseen pollution built up over time, it might result in a plague, or a crop failure, or a natural disaster. The fate of the entire community depended on keeping this pollution to a minimum. So how did they do this? Simple. Murderous, inanimate objects and animals were put through a formal trial, and if found guilty, they were expelled beyond the borders of the city. This act of expulsion was thought to cleanse the city of its unseen pollution.
Wow, that's some stupid shit!
This tradition persisted for a long
Where'd they
time.
dump it,
eventually
Italy?
spread to the
Well, that
Roman
would explain
world,
a
where it
lot.
came into contact with the early church.
Mamma mia, the
Fast-forward
pizza
to
burned my
medieval
mouth!
Europe.
Throw
By
the
this time,
pizza in the
church still
river!
believed that animals could commit crimes, but the rationale had evolved. Like the Greeks, the medieval church believed that the act of murder somehow infected the entire community. However, their version of this came not in the form of unseen pollution, but instead in the form of evil forces.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes
Demons
this
and
evil
shit.
was explicitly described as demonic or satanic, and sometimes it was a little more vague. To put it simply, the medieval church's position was that evil attracted evil. One murder brought evil forces into the community, which made a second murder more likely. A second murder did the same, and made a third murder more likely.
Like,
it was
I
a
get
vicious
that
cycle that had
idea.
the potential to destroy an entire community.
Like,
So how did animals
they
play
got
into this?
something going
For
on
theological
there.
reasons, the belief was that animals were slightly more susceptible to evil than humans were. When
Oh!
an animal committed a violent act, it was an early indication that worse things were in store for the community. Whereas animal trials in ancient Greece were an act of cleansing, animal trials in medieval Europe were an act of deterrence.
Evil is a
Animal trials
purely
in
human
medieval
invention.
and early modern Europe
And
were
also
divided
cats.
into two distinct categories. There were animal trials in the secular courts and animal trials in the ecclesiastical or religious courts. The secular courts dealt exclusively with domesticated animals: cats, dogs, horses, pigs, whatever. The argument here was that domesticated animals were servants to humanity and could therefore be considered members of the household. Under this worldview, domesticated animals were subject to human law, just as any other member of the household would be. The ecclesiastical courts, on the other hand,
All
dealt
human
with
law?
creatures that were beyond human control. Rats, locusts, termites, snakes, stuff like that. As we've seen, the belief was that animal crimes had to be prosecuted so that evil forces were deterred from seeping into the community. When it came to domesticated animals, the courts were perfectly capable of treating them just like any other defendant. However, that was not the case when it came to rats or insects. How is one to properly evaluate which rat destroyed which crop, or which specific termite caused a roof to cave in? It was an impossible task. Fortunately, the church had tools that the secular courts lacked: excommunication and exorcism. This was handy because it was a fairly simple matter to excommunicate a swarm of locusts, for example, without having to physically interact.
What?
Bartholomew Chassenet defended the rats of Autun in ecclesiastical court. So, just for kicks, let's take a look at the trial of a domesticated animal that took place in secular court.
The bugs don't care if they can't come to church, man!
In 1474, in the city of Basel, an egg was discovered in the pen of a male rooster. Settle in, get out your detective hat, take some puffs on your pipe, because this one's a stone cold whodunit. The people of Basel figured it out pretty quickly. The rooster laid the egg.
No.
A small minority of you might have another solution in mind, but that's just your dumb tiny brain being a stupid idiot. Obviously, this was the work of the supernatural.
What?
But here's the important bit. It was a crime for a rooster to lay an egg.
Why?
Rooster eggs were believed to be ingredients in a spell that could be used to create a basilisk. Wait a second. That's,
Oh!
Huh. This is all very silly, obviously, but think back
that's
to
stupid.
the theoretical model that lay behind medieval and early modern animal trials.
Oh, that's stupid as
Rooster
hell.
eggs were all tied up with magic, maybe witchcraft, maybe even Satanism, which meant that a rooster laying an egg was an evil act. If they allowed something like this to go unanswered, other evil forces would seep into their community. The unfortunate rooster was charged with the crime of cavorting with Satan. The rooster's lawyer argued that, sure, his client laid an egg, and sure, rooster eggs were used in magical spells, but the act itself, the laying of the egg, was entirely involuntary. Since no spell had been cast, no evil act had actually occurred. If no evil act occurred, deterrence was unnecessary. This was nothing more than a simple act of nature. It's a clever argument, but it didn't take. The prosecution argued that it was irrelevant whether or not the laying of the egg had been an involuntary act, because it was technically possible that some kind of demon had physically entered the body of the rooster and laid the egg for him. They argued that, voluntary or not, a rooster laying an egg was an evil act under any circumstance, and so long as this crime went unpunished, the entire city was in danger. The prosecution's argument won the day. The unfortunate rooster was condemned to death and burned at the stake. But not everybody was cool with putting animals on trial. Over this entire period, there was a ton of work going on behind the scenes to rationalize and reform this system. A lot of this work, especially early on, was actually happening inside the church. Thomas Aquinas spends a lot of time in his 13th century work Summa Theologica tackling the nature of evil, and more specifically, the nature of evil in nature. He eventually arrives at the position that the natural world is inclined towards perfection.
Okay.
But that isn't to say that evil doesn't exist in the natural world. Clearly it does. Aquinas says that when an animal performs an evil act, it is in a way malfunctioning or somehow deformed in their nature.
Okay.
He goes on to say that taking these creatures out of nature is fine, but since nature is inclined towards perfection, this should be extremely rare. In other words, he's saying that animals should only be charged with crimes when there's something very clearly wrong with it. Nature is inclined towards perfection, so in practice it should usually be fine to just leave animals alone. This is a pretty modern perspective, and it's remarkable that something like this was coming out of the church in the 13th century. So the theoretical groundwork had been laid. According to Aquinas, animal trials should be rare. But sadly, this argument did not catch on. In fact, in the centuries following Aquinas' death, animal trials actually became more common than ever. Here's a typical example. In 1379, near the town of Saint-Marcel in Burgundy, a herd of pigs became overexcited and trampled a young boy.
Oh, that
He later
sucks.
died of his injuries. Think back to Thomas Aquinas. Were these pigs somehow deformed in their nature? It's hard to say without being there, but probably not, right? It sounds like it was just a tragic accident. But the town did not follow Aquinas' lead. The 3 pigs who did most of the trampling were brought into secular court and sentenced to death. The town was still not satisfied. They returned to secular court for a second bite of the apple and argued that actually the rest of the pigs had demonstrated by their squealing and aggressive behavior that they approved of the young boy's murder. They were accomplices. The judge bowed to public pressure and sentenced the rest of the herd to death as well. The prior at the local monastery was bothered by this. He didn't think it was right for the town to execute all of its pigs over a tragic accident. He wrote to Duke Philip the Bold of Burgundy, explaining the situation and asking him to pardon all but the 3 main pigs. The Duke agreed. The rest of the herd was pardoned and the matter was settled. What's interesting about this incident is that it shows how the church and the nobility were working together and pushing for moderation, and how normal people were pushing the courts toward maximalist punishments. Animal trials persisted for centuries. Many came to view it as a superstitious holdover from the medieval period, but nevertheless, it was a practice that would not die. In the 17th century, the philosopher René Descartes spent
Made a bunch of
lot
graph
of time
paper.
and effort making the argument that animals were wholly incapable of committing any crimes whatsoever. His argument went a little something like this. All animals are automatons, meaning that they have no sense, no feeling, and no inner life. A phrase that he likes to use over and over again is that animals only follow the disposition of their organs. According to Descartes, a creature acting purely on instinct is in perfect accordance with nature and is therefore incapable of evil. Descartes argued that putting animals on trial was meaningless, no different than putting inanimate objects on trial, which is funny because that's exactly what the ancient Greeks used to do. Descartes' successors picked up this argument and ran with it. People continued to argue about the nature of evil and stuff like that, but the basic worldview that said that it was meaningless to charge animals with crimes actually caught on.
Yeah.
By the 18th century, animal trials were becoming less and less common. By the 19th century, they were a novelty. So, medieval Europeans saw humans and animals as operating within the same moral universe. Descartes and his Enlightenment successors rejected this worldview and argued instead that animals were incapable of moral agency.
That's not true, they
operating
are.
entirely in reaction to the disposition of their organs.
Dogs
In the
and
19th
cats
century,
can
the pendulum
absolutely
swung
commit
back in the other
crimes.
direction. Charles Darwin and his successors made a series of
Zangief
discoveries
has
that
stolen
turned the
food
basic
items.
Enlightenment worldview when it came to animals on its head.
And he has known that
In
it
The
was a
Descent of Man,
theft.
Darwin writes that so long as animals hit a certain baseline of intelligence, quote, any animal whatever endowed with
Elmo
well-marked
looked me in the
social
eyes and knocked
instincts
over a
would
glass the other
inevitably
day.
acquire a moral sense or conscience. This was a straightforward rejection of the Descartes and Enlightenment worldview. According to Darwin, animals are not automatons. So long as they possess some intelligence, they are capable of full moral agency.
Okay.
No different from humans.
Full moral agency's a lot.
Since the Darwinian Revolution went back to arguing that humans and animals operated within the same moral
I
universe,
feel like we've
you'd
swung
think that this would
in the other
reignite
direction a little
medieval
too strongly
and early
here.
modern practice of putting animals on trial. Thankfully, it did not. By the 19th century, the practice had been in decline for at least 100 years. People were a lot less worried about an evil act precipitating some kind of metaphysical threat to an entire community. Instead, they went the other way with it. Since animals were now believed to possess full inner lives, Darwin and others pushed for preservation and compassion whenever possible. Before too long, most of Europe had outlawed the public execution of animals. Legislation dealing with animal cruelty quickly followed. By the 20th century, virtually in the blink of an eye, the practice of putting animals on trial had vanished from Europe. Which is good.
Yes. Yay. Good video. Good video. That shit is stupid as hell. That is stupid. I'm subscribed to this person. Good video. Can I link that channel? It's on the screen right now. You can just read it with your eyes. It's Historia Civilis.
And 3,
what?
2, 1.
How far into space? Holy shit. Yeah, into space. Why does this guy just have a high-powered space transmitter in his fucking yard? I dropped my key. All right, let's see some guy get hit in the cutscene. Why does this look like shit?
We are women. We are free. We're bringing an end to the patriarchy. We are women. Hear our pain. We are women. Hear our shout. We are women. Have no doubt. We are women. We are free. We are
Shut the fuck up! Thank you. Oh, my N-word, huh? What's up, homie?
What? Did he die? What's happening?
Oh, is that how you act, huh? When a friend makes a mistake, huh?
No,
really?
man.
Oh,
No.
what? Oh, so what? It's just me getting hurt? Is that funny?
No,
huh?
man.
Well, fuck you! I'm gonna put you in the fucking ground. You laugh at me again.
Man, calm down.
I have met a lot of assholes in my life, but you, well, you're not long for this world if this is the way you fucking act. You little jumped up motherfucker!
Look, how about this, man? Calm down. It was funny at first, man. I made a mistake. Unfortunately, man, you failed. It was funny, all right? I apologize.
I accept your apology. Okay? All right, so let's hug it out. Mm-hmm. Right? You're
So
fucking
you're funny,
gotcha. Oh, fuck! No, I'm not funny. Fucking asshole. Oh, fuck! I had a difficult childhood.
Damn, man, you all right?
I'm just fucking on edge, you know? Look, I love you, right? But I would have just fucking...
Look, man, Lester said you had some information for us about Michael.
Michael? Fuck Michael, I hope he's dead.
Man, I know y'all two, man. Come on, man. You two had beef before. But what the fuck happened in North Yankton? Somebody pinched him, man. Who?
My friend Ron met these Chinese assholes.
He's
From
just gonna go the
Yangshan
whole...
in
Oh,
China.
man.
We had some problems. They mistakenly thought Michael was a human being and kidnapped him.
Yeah, and now it looks like they holding him somewhere in the city.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
Well, go fuck yourself. You want that piece of shit, that's your fucking business, all right? He's dead to me, all right? And chances are, if and when I see him, he's gonna be dead to everyone else as well.
Hey, come on, bro, don't do that.
You're pushing your luck, pal. What was that?
What?
What was that?
Nothing.
Ah! Asshole! Everybody! Assholes!
Trevor is a Canadian. That's true. Good for him.
You goddamn dead. Ah!
Wait, now they're attacking Franklin?
YouTube finally relaxes
Oh my God.
their overly restrictive profanity policy.
Sort of.
So does that mean I can say words like fuck and
Yeah, so
I think so.
The sort of is that it's relaxed. It's not gone. I think some people interpreted this as like, oh, we can just do whatever we want now. It's like, no, it's not gone.
Do go on.
Chilling out a little bit. James has a note here that on Thursday we had a short circuit video receive limited monetization because the host said penis lamp at the 23-second mark.
Penis lamp? Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you gonna elaborate on this?
Nope, no one gets any topic information at all. Never mind. Recap. In November, YouTube changed its advertiser-friendly guidelines to be far harsher to obscene language. We talked about that on the WAN show, among other things. Communication was poor, and the language of the new guidelines was vague. The changes applied retroactively, which is the most brutal part.
Super cool.
Resulting in previously acceptable content being demonetized without creators knowing why. Now, after a few months of soul searching, YouTube has announced a new set of softer
Does Google
profanity
have a
guidelines.
soul? Okay, no. Sorry.
I don't know about that. Their language is still somewhat vague, and it does not address all creator complaints, but there are now...
Oh, hey, I just want to let you guys know that this bullshit that I put in for your convenience on YouTube VODs fucking demonetizes my videos constantly, so you're welcome.
Examples of what is and isn't acceptable. Examples are always great in these situations. Videos containing moderate profanity like asshole or douchebag, or occasional strong profanity like outside the first 7 seconds of a video are eligible for full monetization. Oh, so I didn't even have to bleep that, but I felt like it anyways. Videos containing strong profanity in the first 7 seconds or throughout the majority of the video, like are eligible for limited monetization rather than no
I
monetization.
don't know if holding it works, Luke, but okay.
Does it not?
I'm not sure.
It should. It's just a tone, right? Dan?
Yes, it works.
Hey.
Yeah, you hold it for as long as you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
thought so. It's just a tone. Videos demonetized after November's changes will apparently be re-reviewed in the coming weeks.
Interesting. So stay tuned and maybe your livelihood something.
Yeah, maybe. According to YouTube, November's changes wound up being far harsher than they had actually intended. It's a discussion question. YouTube has to balance its relationship with advertisers and its relationship with creators. Is it striking the right balance? Is it enough to fix these oversteps after the fact? I think the biggest problem is that it was retroactive and it wasn't clear enough.
Yeah, so as long as they're communicating clearly and they're not going back through your catalog, I think that the longer YouTube exists, the more they're going to have to reckon with the fact that some of the content on their platform, yeah, it's jarring now. And for
Casual use of hard R.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not really what I don't know the best way to deal with that, because I can see how an advertiser with modern sensibilities might look at that old content that some people are still totally watching and go, actually, no, that's not really what I signed up for. I mean, it's been kind of eye-opening. I've just sort of randomly here and there picked up episodes of old shows that I hadn't watched in a long time from like the early 2000s, and just the casual the casual sort of gay humor, casual use of the hard R.
Oh, really?
It's jarring. Yeah, it's jarring now. And for
Casual use of hard R.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like okay, it was an episode of American Dad. And it was just
Really?
like, yeah, it wasn't for shock value. It was just like used.
Whoa.
Right? Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? That was in 2003 or something, like 2002.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna deny that I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then because we didn't even the term hard R didn't even exist. We didn't think about it, right? And it's funny because to me that doesn't feel like that long ago, but to my kids,
are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No.
I think
That's
so.
the N-word. What are you guys talking about? Am I mistaken?
I think so.
No, the one with the for mental disability.
I'm pretty sure people use hard R in a very different way than you just used it.
Oh. Okay, either
hard
way.
R means ending
I understand.
the N-word
I
with
understand.
a hard R.
I understand what you mean. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay, cool. So I'm glad that
I'm
we have
freaking
cleared that
Neo
up.
over here, dude. We're dodging bullets. That was bad.
Okay, yes.
Really? Oh. Oh yeah, no, Willie's already seen this. I've already seen this. Everyone's already seen this.
No, you're not a gamer. No. You are not a gamer. I am so sick of all these people who think they're gamers. No, you're not. All right, and most of you are not even close to being gamers. I see these people saying, I put well over 100 hours in this game and it's great. That's nothing. That's nothing. Most of us can easily put 300 plus in
Is
all
that
of our
Alex
games.
Lee?
I see people who only have the Nintendo Switch and claim to be gamers. Funny. Come.
It's a meme.
When you pick up a PS4 controller, then
Is this a meme of a copy pasta that
Also,
Alex?
dear women, Pokemon is not a real game. Animal Crossing is not a real game. The Sims is not a real game. Mario is not a real game. Stardew Valley is not a real game. Mobile games are not real games. Put down the baby games and play something that requires challenge and skill for once. Sincerely, all of
Oh my God.
actual gamers.
Hi everybody, it's Paul. You
Oh, I
a lot
love
of
this
people ask
video.
me, after a long day of voiceover or writing or doing all those creative things that I do, how do I relax? Well, like many other Americans, I come home and I pet my dog. You see, petting your dog is one of the most relaxing things you can possibly do. It releases a hormone called oxytocin, which reduces stress. Also, it lowers your heart rate and it lowers your blood pressure. Plus, people who pet their dogs are 5 times more likely to live longer than people who just have cats. Plus, the dogs like it so much, and it's a nice bonding experience. That's right. Good daddy's little boy. Daddy's little boy. Daddy's little boy. That's right. Okay, we're done.
B1521, plundering with me crew.
What?
Yahar.png. Hector calls, get over here. I see something you might be liking. Hobble me way over to Hector. Looky here. I'll lock her a Davy Jones.png. Hit me a fucking 4-barrel blunderbuss.
Holy
Top
shit.
and Jester walks over, wondering what the fuss be about.
Who could even
patch
fire
flies
that?
off. Give me that. Takes the abomination of a gun away from Hector. Coffin fiddles with the powder bag. Accidentally pulls all 4 triggers. Shite. Scurvy dog's face when half the ship was blown off and 4 of the crew were but a fine mist.
Here we go. Nice cock. Big and strong. Structure. Nice cock. It's crazy. Oh yeah. Nice cock, dude. Really smooth. Rip this cock. One hell of a size.
This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael. Can you draw them for me?
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Look at my friend Bill. He went through the worst divorce this county's ever seen, but you never see him crying.
Hey, I didn't know Peggy's brother was in town.
No! Peggy's landed some extra work as a notary public.
You got yourself a good man there, Hank.
What did you just say, Bill?
Oh my God.
Now let's just all settle down here.
No. Hey, I am not Bill Dovetree coded. You stop that. You stop that. Just because I'm bald and also French. Okay?
Hasn't had an innocent sex dream about a friend's wife.
Hold on a second. I think I hear something in the bushes.
I think you are just stalling.
I am not stalling. I am stopping. There's someone in that bush. Hey, you!
It is your imagination which got us into this mess in the first place. Do you want these dreams to end or not?
God dang it, Bill! I'm leaving.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Why, Dale, I just get so lonely. And we both like playing Boggle. Of course, she always wins, doesn't she? Please don't tell Hank. I'll tell you something I saw in the movie one time. See, this pig got loose in this couple's house, and they chased it around until they fell on top of each other, and they were laughing and giggling and loving. It's a winter wonderland. Whee!
I tell you what, man, it don't go down to Antarctica. You ain't gonna get that damn thing to work with a little big old bottom like he got.
I think one of the strangest things about King of the Hill is that when I was a child, I couldn't understand a single thing Boomhauer said, and now that I'm an adult, I can understand every single thing that he says. Isn't that fucking weird?
You ready to dance, Rex? Of course you are. It's in your blood. Okay. You want the lead? Is that it, boy?
So a Rottweiler can totally come through a door if it wants to.
Come on, Rex. Settle down. We're going to be late for the competition.
Dude, those take a while. Okay, but it's a TV show, so yeah, he just killed that dog.
Oh, he's dreaming. and Rex, you're on deck. And, no muzzles. No muzzles. Those are the rules.
Cleaning. How did you get in, Bill?
You gave me a key, remember? When you went on vacation, so I could feed Ladybird.
That was 6 years ago.
It's probably a good thing I held on to it, too. After all, you never know.
I want it back. Now.
All right, let me help you with that trash.
Why is he hugging our trash?
As long as he does not take it into his house, we're okay. Oh, no.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry. Would you believe this isn't the first time that's happened to me? Beefaroni's fun to eat.
Beefaroni's really neat.
Beefaroni's fun to treat. Hooray!
Yippee!
This is what happens when you get divorced. Don't get divorced.
Beefaroni! Nancy's gone. She is gone, and it's breaking my heart.
She's coming back.
No, she is not. You are living a lie. She's never coming back. They never, ever do. You think they will, but they won't.
Bill,
They won't. It's
you're
true.
scaring me. Weren't we just having fun?
Yes, believe me, I want you to get a divorce. That way you'll be here all the time. Secretly, I was happy your stupid plan backfired so that I wouldn't be alone anymore, but this isn't right. You go back to your wife. Here, take the money. Go on. Get back out the door and get out of here. Get out.
It's electric, Bill.
Yeah, well, it's still getting pretty hot.
Maybe you ought to get to bed and try to sleep this thing off.
All I do is sleep. I guess I'm just getting in practice, huh? For the big, long sleep.
You want baseball players or the... Hey, what's this fancy one?
I like the way silk feels on my skin.
Silk is for pantyhose, Bill.
They're all I got. You've got a wife!
Put 'em on.
No, I don't want to.
Arms up. Rinse. Oh, damn it, Bill.
The ball was on the 3-yard line with 5 seconds left. We needed a touchdown to win, and that's when Coach called for the bulldozer.
Oh, that's right. He was a football star. What happened? He blew out his knee? Yeah? Oh, the Army? Oh, the Army. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, the Army will do it to you.
Bill, what are you doing out here? You look terrible. We got to get you inside now.
I won't go. I have a responsibility to the people of Ireland.
Bill, it's Hank. Just wanted to stop by and see how you're doing.
Oh, I'm feeling much better.
Oh, no.
Bill, throw your popcorn at the birds.
But it was $12. Oh! Wait!
I had a
He's giving the
sunburn like that
signal.
once.
Stick out your chest so I can get a clean shot at your heart.
Man, you used that dang old escape rope, man.
I made it. I'm all right.
You're not doing it right.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Hey, man, better shoot that dang old balloon, man. Hey, man, no Bill's gone, man.
Hello? Anyone? Anybody?
Santa?
No. Yes. If you get your parents, I will give you a toy. Hey.
Goodbye, Santa. I love you.
Oh, thank God somebody came.
Hey, you. What are you doing up there? Did Eduardo send you?
No, see, the wind changed, and I'm just so dizzy.
So how come you're hanging from a tree? You a piñata?
Hey, Pinata, it's my birthday.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh, no! Quit it now!
Oh, Bill.
Your turn.
Ah, crap.
Hello, Paige. You are quite good at turning me on.
Just shut up. Shut up.
Oh no! I want satisfaction! Zex servant. Pork. Take me.
Yes, this is great.
Yay!
My fucking face.
Oh no, not Scottish people.
I think you've got to put it all wrong. No, because if you take a tumble, you're taking a heater, you're taking a heater doing it.
What?
Try and get both your feet into the flashing and tiptoe down the flashing. If you can stand up on the flashing and hold on to the gutter till you turn, and then as you turn, your foot will hit the metal pin. You what, Andrew?
What?
It was going to D there, Andrew. It was going to D. Right, don't put too much weight on it, right?
Wait, where the fuck am I meant to put my weight? Wait, I can't put my weight in the roof, it's dead fun. I can't hold on to it. What am I meant to do with it? Oh, here, Andrew, hold it for 5 minutes. You fucking wank stain. Don't shift your weight up. What the fuck are you talking about? I can't put my weight on the fucking roof. I can't put my weight in the ground. Where's it meant to go? No, man, I can't just fucking move it. Oh. You fucking what? That's how agitated I'm getting now. You really fucking agitated me.
It was you. It was you that wanted to go up, Dick.
I'm just going to let myself drop right. I'm going to hold on to this side bit, and hopefully I'm far enough down it.
I love the kind of woman that
Hey,
will
it's
actually
Johnny.
just kill me. You know, when I left the house today, I was thinking, damn, I really hope some hot chick paints my brains all over some fucking hallway. And here we are. I mean, really, just absolutely destroy me. I'm talking full-on watermelon in the thighs level carnage. And I want it to scare the shit out of me. I mean, I hope I piss myself. I hope I piss myself and you call me your little pee-pee piss boy. I want you to fuck me up. I mean, I want you to make me your bitch. Your little pee-pee piss myself bitch. I want it to get embarrassing. I mean, like, weirdly embarrassing. Unsanitary, too. We should be entirely different people by the end of the first 8 hours. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I mean, I'm a real freak. I'm not normal. Ma'am, please, you have to crush me.
It's unbelievable. Oh. Hold on. It's unbelievable that Gianni, like, rose to the heights that he is at now by just making endless shit posts in his Steve Bloom Master Chief voice.
Enjoy the Totino's Pizza Roll!
gold, Sonic!
You can do it, Sonic. You can beat the Tostinos.
I'm afraid your journey ends
Fucking
here,
Oblivion.
traveler. I'll be taking whatever you're carrying. After you're dead, of course. I do hope it's more than the last few had. They were most disappointing.
You've done well. The Gold Road should be a little safer for now. You should return to Anvil and let Carahill know the work is complete. We'll remain here and clean things up. Goodbye.
Let's get I'm just warming up. You die! Show me what you've got.
We'll die!
You dare oppose the might of the Imperial Legion?
What's the matter, getting tired?
You. There's no problem, is there?
What is this? Oh no! That got me again.
Bring it to the phone. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up. Before I pull the strap up, give me the microphone so I can bust like a bubble. Hopping in long face together, now you know you in trouble. Yeah, and it's over. I think they in the mood for another one of those G hits. Cause they nothing but a cheap thing. Back to low down G, so we claim that. That's broke, is the label that's plays that. Unfavorable, so please take this one off. Look, it's good enough to get over my proper chunk. I take a small piece of some of that focus stuff. You know what I'm with it?
Oh, that's weird.
Just throw your hands way up in the air. Roll around like you just don't care. Yeah, hold the thing and hold the drink. Stop, y'all, bite them all. Yeah, I'm burning it up. Cheese, you should be turning it up. Yeah, we cook it back up. And when they make us in the cutting, you got to get it out like this. It's like all like this, like this, like this. Keep a blue flame hanging on my backside, but only on the left side. Yeah, that's the good side. Drop it like this. So just chill to the next episode.
Yay.
Randy Orton. Oh my God, Randy Orton in the corner. Big Show's prone here. Big Show.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Randy Orton RK. Oh, Big Show. Big Show.
That killed him. Oh shit! No, that's not okay, kid.
What an incredible turn of events here. Big Show and Randy Orton get the right.
Oh shit! That's crazy.
I don't know where we were, but it was the middle of summer, and it was hot, and this was during the time where Mick Foley had, under the guise of traveling without luggage and as cheaply as possible, Mick had whittled his wardrobe down to not having ring gear and just wearing sweatpants and sneakers and a t-shirt to the ring, so he didn't have actual gear anymore. So we wrestled. It's summertime. The building did not have air conditioning. It's like 100 degrees in there. Like, it's one of those things where we were both sweating to death. Mick comes in and he's like drenched in sweat. Like, he's sweaty enough to where he has to roll his sweatpants like off it, right? They're like stuck to him sweaty, and he like rolls them down, and he like rolls his underwear down, and like he's like just sweating, and then he like pulls his t-shirt off, and I see him walk with the t-shirt still in his hand towards the showers, but he like doesn't have anything else, and I'm like, he's drying off with the t-shirt, the sweaty t-shirt that he had just soaking, dripping wet from the ring. He's drying off with it, and I watch him walk over, and he's talking to me like about whatever. And he now proceeds to finish drying off with the t-shirt and then put it on and then roll the underwear back on, roll the sweatpants back on, stick his sneakers on. And then next to him, which I hadn't noticed yet, is a giant clear plastic bag of popcorn that he had gotten from the concession stand. And I watch him grab the bag of popcorn. I'm like, what's with the popcorn? And he says, I'm not going to take the flight. I'm going to bank the tickets. What are you going to do, drive? He's like, yeah, it's only 600 miles. I said, what's with the popcorn? He goes, well, this way I don't have to stop and eat. With that, he throws the popcorn over one shoulder. See you tomorrow. And heads out the door. And I was like, wow, that is a unique cat right there.
Jesus Christ. Huh? It's a big flute? Are those pigs? Oh, yeah! Cool, pigs. Hey, Griffball, that's not very nice. That means Happy New Year.
Can't wait for the cat next
I
week.
watched this live!
Tonight, SmackDown at the Shark Tank in San Jose, California. And coming up next, the WWE title is on the line. Brock Lesnar versus Chris Benoit for the WWE title. Whoa! Chad,
cool, man. What
are you doing?
I think I'm playing Final Fantasy X too, baby. This is awesome. Look at that. Here's Yuna. Yeah. Who? Yuna. Yuna, that's the girl, man. You gotta get down.
There's no TV! There's nothing!
Look at this. Hit this thing right here.
What is that?
Ow! Punch.
What the hell is that?
It's just cool. Shocking.
Well, nonetheless, Final Fantasy. It could be Chris Benoit's fantasy here tonight when he meets Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Right now, we're going to take a look at the animal Brock Lesnar. Here is a history of the WWE Champion.
Oh, my God.
Hello, Newman. I made first bite. Yeah. Directions.
Hello, Jerry.
Welcome. I hope you're prepared for unforgettable lunch. Yeah. My roaster's ruined. But what if I were to purchase it? Fast food. In disguise? It's my own cooking. Delightful. Devil!
Fish.
Newman. Newman.
What is crazy?
Explanation. Crazy Joe DeVoe. Gonna need his medication.
Jesus.
Here.
So much work. Cool. Wait, this is like stop motion wood? Holy shit!
様、何者だ。
俺は右腕をなくしたが、お前は記憶をなくしたか、犬丸。
ジゴロか。おめえはあの時親方と一緒に死んだはずじゃ。構わねえ。もう一度殺してくれるわ。
Cool. This is a pilot. He's doing a movie. Holy hell. Yay! That's incredible. That's fantastic.
You guys sure you have time for this?
When I see a smile on your hairy face.
Coconut cream pies? Don't say that. Oh my god, don't say that. Why are you saying that, chat?
Take your place. I see bananas when I
Is that a Korok noise? Chat, there's a Korok here.
I shower you with coconut cream pie.
What? No! You can't say that!
Love like ice on
They knew!
They knew!
Our love is like a summer breeze. Can't you see what makes you
They knew!
Love is stronger than a golden banana.
Love is stronger than a golden banana?
Love is stronger than a golden banana.
He winked when he said it?
Stronger than a golden banana.
I swear I've never heard that before, chat member.
I've definitely
I'm telling you, I've not heard this.
Cold.
I don't know how I haven't. I just haven't.
Bye.
Yeah! This video is one of the best commercials I've ever seen!
Larry, I'm quitting the company and starting my own. And by the way, I feel great.
Steve, you're a great guy with great skills. You're gonna do great. What the hell? I'm coming with you.
Hey, you're hot and I feel great. Let's get married.
All right, but I want lots of kids.
Me too. 500 of them.
Yeah. Babies everywhere.
Hey, what's up?
Me, I'm up and I feel great.
You feel great?
Yeah, really great. Go ahead and hit me.
Ooh. You do feel great. I just shattered my hand. Oh, yeah!
Get Cooper on the phone right now.
Steve, this is Bill. He owns his place and he's got more money than God.
I'm filthy rich. I'm always tan and I got a great ass too, but my marriage sucks, so I hate my life.
Bill, I'm Steve. I'm marrying a girl just because of her looks, and we're rushing right into making babies. I got no income because I just quit my job, and I don't care because I feel great. Yeah!
Oh, that's a good advertisement.
Oh my God!
I don't think that's true, JR. What?
We are here to...
Holy shit! I don't even care anymore.
To kill chaos. We must kill chaos. My quest is to kill chaos. Chaos will die. I can't fucking stand chaos. He pisses me off. Chaos won't escape. Chaos killed my wife and fucked my dog and recorded it. Chaos. I have the MP4 on my MacBook.
Can you believe this was the plot of the game?
Chaos. This is the shrine of chaos. Chaos. We're here. Mom said it's my turn to kill chaos.
Like it actually was what it appeared to be?
Chaos. Chaos. That's my mission. I hate chaos so much. It's unreal. Chaos will be waiting. I only know one thing. Chaos. I want to kill chaos. I can smell chaos, so I think he's around. This is the shrine to chaos. I just shit my pants. He's here. Chaos. Chaos pissed on my doormat. Chaos. He was trying to draw his own face with his piss. Chaos is the speed-eating champion in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Chalupa Division. Chaos. I won't rest until chaos is defeated. Chaos hates capitalism, and yet he participates in it. Ironic. Chaos. Fucking piece of shit. I hate that guy. I won't forgive chaos. Chaos. Chaos bought the last Skylander at my local Toys R Us, even though he knew I wanted it. I'm going to kill chaos. Chaos. Chaos can't even bench one plate. I know that chaos is here. Chaos is Team Edward, but I haven't seen Twilight yet, so I don't know if I'll agree with that. This is the
Yeah,
end
you
for
would.
chaos.
Team Jacob sucks.
Chaos was chaos won't stand in my path. Chaos will taste my revenge. Chaos does a lot of volunteer work. Chaos. And makes
Your
a big
Team Jacob,
impact
you should
in his
probably be put on a
community.
watch
Chaos,
list.
bitch. I hope chaos doesn't think my shirt is weird. His opinion means a lot to me. Chaos. Chaos downloaded a bunch of dolphin porn onto my computer. That's how come it's on there. Chaos. Who are you? I am chaos.
Camille, have you ever heard of a man named Shar Aznable? Now will I, Quattro Bagina, am not Shar Aznable. I heard that he was a pretty good man. Did I ever tell you about the time when Shar Aznable destroyed 19 Federation warships all by himself in a single Zaku? You know, a friend once told me that he actually saw Shar Aznable without a shirt on. He said that Shar Aznable had an 8-pack and that he was shredded. Whatever you do, you should never let people like Haman Khan or Amuro Ray try to convince you that I'm Shar Aznable. I'm not. My name is Quattro Bagina of the Anti-Earth Union Group. While I'm flattered to be referred to as such a beautiful and wonderful man, I must regret to inform you that Shar and I are not the same person. Unfortunately, though, after the 1-year war, Shar disappeared from the face of the galaxy. I wonder whatever happened to him. It's a shame that such a beautiful and great man had to...
That's real, by the way. So people who haven't seen Gundam Zeta, like a huge proportion of his dialogue is telling people that he's not Char Aznable. Except for the couple of times where he just admits that he's Char Aznable. It's so weird. Such an asshole. And his mech is solid gold.
Quattro Bagina? That sounds like a girl's body part.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bricky.
Oh, you guys told me to watch this the other day.
That because I ran out of ammo. Do not test me. I will cry. Call of Duty Zombies is a game mode that is near and dear to
also
my
friend of the
heart.
show,
As a young
Bricky.
lad, my eyes were just as wide as everyone else's when I found out that there was a
By the way,
secret
to people who say, hey, how come you're not subscribed to so-and-so on YouTube? I actually use YouTube incredibly rarely.
survival mode once you finish the World at War campaign. Looking back on it, it's
This is
quite
the most
humorous
YouTube
how
I've
just an
watched in like 2
additional mode
months.
they added on turned into such an incredibly large phenomenon. It reminds me when I played Fortnite survival mode, and then you just kind of threw in a BR as an afterthought. And now, fuck. But today I want to talk about what I deem to be the strongest Call of Duty Zombies experience currently on the market.
Is it
But
Killing
first,
Floor
a quick
1?
word from our sponsor for today's video. This video is sponsored by coins and 70,000 players in a small arena fighting endless waves of zombies until death. Killing these zombies would earn the players points, which they could use to
I'm
either
not a
unlock
fan of
other
Killing
parts
Floor
of the
2.
map or purchase new weapons. The players were restricted to just one area as well. It's a holdout more than anything. You can board up windows or trap areas, but overall you would just fight until you die. This was expanded on over the years to allow for upgrades, customization, even storylines, which we all still call Easter eggs when in reality it's basically an entire raid. Call of Duty Zombies has evolved substantially. Some say for the better, some say for the worse. A few believe that the glory days of Zombies was World at War, where it was more horror than action, and it was about grit, wit, and survival. I appreciate these ideas, but disagree. Through the ups and downs of the Zombies formula, one thing has always been consistent.
Tell me about the numbers,
Player
Mason.
Choice. See, where I think Zombies truly lost their way was when Black Ops 4 came around.
There's
The
a
god-awful UI
There's a
was
Black Ops 4? Man, I remember like waiting at midnight launches for Call of Duty. And now I don't even know whether or not there's a new, oh man. The logo isn't even 1V, it's 1111. Oh, that's terrible.
Certainly a part of it. I have to mention that every time I talk about Black Ops 4 Zombies because just Jesus Christ, that UI. But throughout all the prior games, the one thing that Zombies did well was to allow players the choice to take part in the additional mechanics. If you wanted Zombies to be as bare bones and stripped down as good old Noct, it was an option for you. Often, the maps people found aggravating were the maps that forced you to take part in mechanics you didn't want to deal with. Shangri-La is a map I despise. That's because of the random annoying traps, monkeys taking my stuff, and the god-awful special zombies. Another example for me would be Die Rise. The Die Rise elevators are something I'm going to have to constantly deal with in order to work with the map. I don't get a choice in the matter, and the randomness only makes it much more aggravating. This can be translated even to maps I enjoy, however. I actually really like Call of the Dead, but I'd be lying if I said George Romero, rest in peace, was a good mechanic to deal with. There are exceptions to this rule, however. Some maps are just so incredibly well made that they transcend any annoyances you might have with their base functionality. Mob of the Dead is a great example of that. The Afterlife system is perfectly fine because it serves a decently interesting function and is used to help traverse. The map is designed too well and goddamn looks too good for it to truly be a problem. Once you get to Black Ops 4 though, you're practically forced to deal with the bombardment of shit thrown at you. Whether it's the insane amount of special zombies, the way you get power, or sometimes even just moving through the map
Gun game
feels
is still
like
a thing.
Roblox after Roblox
Yeah,
after
but I have to play a new
Roblox
Call of Duty
that
game. I
prior
want
maps
Black
would have
Ops gun
considered
game.
rather easy to handle. Now on the flip side, you have Cold War.
Fucking
Now,
knew it.
Cold
I
War
knew it. I knew if I said that, someone would say, yeah, it's not as good as it was.
Or completely changed the Zombies formula in more ways than I even have time to explain. I did make a video on it though, in case you'd like to check it out. Though in Cold War's world, the extra craziness comes from the out-of-the-game upgrades. The gameplay is very bare bones and rather simple. You don't go much farther than perks, power, and pap, but upgrading weapons, perks, abilities, and all that is way more in depth. So Cold War Zombies, while fun, almost isn't something I want to look at right now.
I'm sorry. Baller Swag says, I have just been informed that I have played Black Ops 4 in a video. I did. Oh, was that the first Warzone? Oh, yeah, I played that. I won. I won on stream.
I'm talking about a normal Zombies experience. From what I've said before, I firmly believe that the best,
It's called Blackout.
the
Yeah, no, I won.
zombies experience
I beat
is
that game.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3
Receipts?
as a game
No,
came
it's
around
in
an
there.
interesting
I when I streamed it, I absolutely beat it that night on camera.
time. It followed Advanced Warfare, the first real future COD, and went even farther, creating specialists while running and overall making a formula that the community would come to hate, but I rather enjoyed. On the zombies side of it, however, it launched with
Blackout's way better than Warzone. So I enjoyed Warzone quite a bit, and then I was like, oh, there's a second Warzone. I guess they updated it. And I went to Steam and saw that it was like universally negative reviews. I'm like, oh, cool.
2 maps, Shadows of Evil, and a remake of the World at War map, because I'm giving up on the German, The Giant. The Giant was the most popular World at War map because it was both the final one and had the most depth to it. So people played the shit out of it because Shadows of Evil wasn't particularly loved on launch for the same reasons I mentioned before. Shadows required a lot from a new player. It was incredibly unfriendly to anyone starting out and to casual players alike. In order to turn on power, for example, you had to go through a Lovecraftian transformation at certain altars on the map that could therefore turn on those power stations specifically and not for the entire map. And getting pack-a-punch involved meant running around grabbing special items in that Lovecraft mode for special sacrifices, and it was just a bunch of crazy.
That seems like a lot.
Very complicated for someone just getting into it. But with time and practice, players started to really enjoy Shadows of Evil, because if there is one way to get players to play your game, it is to make your shit look good. And Shadows of Evil looks damn good. Roaring 20s Lovecraftian, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that does
Once
look
you
pretty
understood
cool.
setup, it became second nature. And then that's when it opened up a whole new layer of upgrades. See, once setup is complete, you could gladly just stop there. If you wanted to survive as long as possible old zombie style, you could. But if you wanted to go harder, grabbing the special weapon, the sword, the civil protectors, and more, the option was always available to you. Then we move over to the first DLC, Der Eisendrache. God, I fucking hate German, which is considered to be a top 5 zombies map of all time. I'm in agreement too. This map is stellar. Unlike Shadows, setup is actually really easy. If you want to turn on power, you open doors.
I'm sorry, Bricky, but I don't know anything about these modes. I'm sorry. I don't have any strong emotions about this. Also, German is hard to say. You're right. Well, that's it for that. I actually ran out of videos. Do you guys want Grand Blue? Oh, wait, Dracula? What is... Okay. Okay, stop. All I know about Dracula Flow is that there are videos called Dracula Flow. Dracula Flow 3. Is that the one? Is it the one with 3.7 million views that seems to be an old man with marker on its face? Okay, well. All right. Okay.
I'm moving.
What the fuck? I don't. All right.
I'm moving different. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm a dog. I'm biting the fart bubbles into bath. We smoking symbiotes. Smoking that Whoopi Goldberg South Egyptian Fur Burger Deluxe Mega Million Scratcher Skunk Bubba Kush. We smoking dung beetle. I'm on 12 Vicodins smoking on Scooby-Doo dick. We smoking Sequoia Banshee boogers. We snorting that good Buffalo Soldier Tamarind Jordanian jibbies. They must have amnesia. They forgot that I'm him. That Burberry backwoods pack hitting that pussy smell like a Hellcat V8. We smoking shit in a glass pipe blowing the Lord's bubbles. I'm sick in the head. I'm on them Broward County Tic Tacs. I'm on them Georgetown Geronimos. I'm on them Nashville nibblers. I left my Margellas in the Benz truck. I'll have to stun on them next time. I don't give a fuck if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. I'm high on 12 Jason Bournes, looking to beat the cum out of a thick, fresh oak. We smoking filtered crack, you stupid piece of shit. I'll fucking kill you. Call that pussy the Matrix, because I'm in this bitch and I can't get out. Last guy who ran off on the pack got choked out by some Givenchy gloves. The last thing he ever saw was the price tag on them. Slowly faded into darkness, and I let the archangels take him. Yeah. I need more Sequoia Banshee boogers. Don't be shy, girl. I love me some pastrami mud flaps. I'm moving like French Montana. Huh? Welcome to the Cream Kingdom, bitch. Open up. Black China, I drink her piss out of another man's balls. My shooter a crackhead. He looked like Woody Harrelson. You ain't seen 10 bands in your life, shit. Reach for my neck. You'll get turned into an example. Y'all gotta stop playing with me, man. I threw diamonds at the strip clubs under the Great Pyramids. I pushed the camel through the eye of a needle. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Tied the ops to the back of a Trackhawk and dragged him around the block for 24 hours. Motherfucker looked like a Resident Evil 5 campaign extra after we was done with him. Ops wanted some initiative. Blew up their entire quadrant. I'm moving like Oppenheimer. She dropped that ass on me from an egregious angle. They thought I was Stephen Wallace. Top shelf Zaza disrupted my circadian rhythm. I have seen the Magna Carta. I've seen the Eye of Horror. I was flipping bricks for Mansa Musa before y'all even became a Type 1 civilization. This shit ain't nothing to me, you stupid piece of shit.
I know. Okay, what is... Why have they kidnapped this old man and painted him with markers to... That's not Dracula! That... Why did I even engage with that? What? It's not Dracula. That's not Dracula. All right. Well, that's going to be it for Pat today. I hope you all had fun. I don't get that at the end there. It's not Nah, I'll play Grand Blue later. All right, G Dawn.